Welcome back. We're here with Loren from For the Love of Dough in Columbus, Ohio. Loren, thanks for coming on the podcast, man. I appreciate it.
No, man, thank you for having me today. And what's up, everybody?
This is a quick turnaround. I actually reached out to you on Instagram 1 or 2 days ago, and I'm here in Columbus now. So thank you for the quick response. I'm so excited to dive into, your love for cookies. So thanks, man.
No, man, of course. One thing I say, in my full-time job, even here, I'm a 25/8 guy, right? So it's an extra hour in a day, an extra day in a week with me, man. And I think that kind of just reigns true.
Absolutely. So what is one cookie flavor you want to create that you have not?
I think this one is probably the easiest question that you probably have out of the entire stack. And for me, it's a coffee cookie.
Okay.
And so I used to be addicted to caffeine. I love coffee. It got to the point to where I was mixing different like caffeine beans. And unfortunately, through college football, I developed epilepsy. And so I learned pretty quickly that I can't have any caffeine consumption whatsoever. And so, like, I miss my espresso martinis for sure, but I would love to create like a cookie that's mainly based off of coffee with a local company here in Columbus. Even though I can't sample it and try it myself, I think that's the one cookie that I haven't created yet that I would absolutely love to create.
And you just announced a collaboration with Sauce Boss Gang.
Yes, yes.
What is
Nicole's
one
amazing.
thing? Yes, I love Nicole, and she's actually the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
What is one thing you are most excited about for that collaboration?
Honestly, it's just I would say it's the difficulty of incorporating hot sauce that you would use for a savory food
Yeah.
into something that's sweet and delicate. And so it took a while, right? But she's an amazing woman. She helped me really keen in on what we should do. And the hot sauce is already kind of like peach habanero. And so we have a really good cheesecake base for one type of our cookies. And we really just put it together, like, let's try a spicy mango cheesecake cookie. And so I think that was the most exciting thing because it was difficult to kind of create a concept around a spicy hot sauce that mixes well with a savory treat. And so, yeah, I would say that for sure.
When I saw the collaboration online, I was like, hot sauce. I was like, that's in a cookie. I was like, what's going on? Can you kind of dive into what that testing process was like with you and Nicole kind of working together to find that perfect, combo?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so at first, we knew what we wanted the flavor profile to be, right? Like mango based. And so what I really kind of brought to the table is like, okay, we have to have something to mellow that out. And so one of our popular cookies is a blueberry cheesecake. And so, my mind just kind of went to, okay, let's take this mango hot sauce that you have, let's infuse it with a cheesecake base, but what else can we kind of do to kind of amp that up? And so we also incorporate white chocolate chips, golden Oreos, and then on top of it, we do a little bit of a white chocolate frosting.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we also do like a hibiscus habanero powder. And so it's really trippy because the first couple bites, you don't really get the heat at all because you're really getting like the sweetness from the cheesecake base and the golden Oreos as a crust. But as you start to eat it more, that spice creeps up. And, just the process of trying that out, I would say that my taste buds were burnt for a little bit, for sure. Especially like just handling the hibiscus dust. When you open up the bag, it almost suffocates you. And so when you're sprinkling it on the cookies after they come out the oven, you have to be very careful not to inhale it because it's very, very spicy. It's not to be played with.
I love it. Are there any cookie flavors that have been customer inspired?
Yeah, and so I think this is probably one of the coolest things that we do is that on a bi-monthly basis, we'll actually run kind of like a giveaway slash competition to where we'll invite our customers or our cookie crew to come in and create a custom cookie. And so on the menu today, which you can actually try, I'll give you a box when you go home, but we actually have what is called right now Blaze's Biscoff. And so, Blaze actually won the last competition. We did a bunch of hidden clues throughout the website, and he was the first one to answer all the hidden clues. And so he actually got to come in and create his own cookie from scratch. And so what he wanted to do was create kind of like the Biscoff. And I'm a Biscoff guy myself. I can't wait to sit down on the airplane and just they come by with the carts and then I get my little cookie, I get my orange juice and I dunk it. Weird combination, but it's good, whatever. But, so I've always wanted to try one of those type of cookies. And lucky enough, he won a competition. He kind of came in and we made that from scratch. And so that's another cookie to where it wasn't on our menu whatsoever. but we do these bi-monthly competitions to be more engaging with the community so that we can feel a part of it, right? Like we love Columbus, we see the growth, and we're happy to play a part of it.
And I think the customers can really get behind that because now you're not just a regular cookie company like all the others. People know, especially the person that came up with the cookie idea, they feel now, I would even say, more involved with your company, like they are a part of your team almost.
Absolutely, man. And so, like, you know, one of the sayings that we have is come for the cookies, stay for the vibes, right? And like I tell everyone, especially in life, anyone can make a transaction, right? Or a sale. But like, what are you doing after that to maintain the customer, right? Like, what are you doing to connect to them from an empathy level? And so that's why we take pride in like at the markets we go to, play music that's friendly for everyone, bring cornhole boards, adult size Connect Four. Like we want to create a vibe to where everyone can feel inclusive, whether you buy a cookie or not.
Well, I think that's what separates you guys from all the other competitions. You guys actually take that one step further, not just a cookie brand, but we're here for the family.
Absolutely, man. And we love the kids. We love everyone that comes, and especially, we try to hit on every demographic, right? Whether you're coming to our farmers markets from 9 to 12, whether you're grabbing a beer at the food hall, we want you to feel comfortable when you come up to our stand.
You also hosted a Yelp virtual cookie baking class, and the people absolutely loved it. There was a 5-star review across 24 people that joined. Can
Yes.
you kind of talk about that experience a little
Yeah.
bit more?
And so honestly, that was probably one of the most exciting things that I've ever done in my entire life, man. And at the time that that happened, it was around COVID as well. And so that's where the company started, right? We would kind of just really be outside when you could go out on the weekends, and we would have a speaker. We would stay out from like 9 p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning selling cookies. And we got introduced to Yelp. And the cool thing about that was I grew up watching, the Food Network, cooking channels. Emeril Lagasse is still like, one of my biggest favorite role models, chefs on this planet. And so I've always wanted to kind of like take that on and do an event based around food. Never would I thought that it would be, me baking. And so the cool thing about that was at that specific time, no one was really going out and about, right? Everyone's kind of stuck in their house. And so it was an escape for everyone to kind of have an opportunity to bake cookies from scratch. And so if you haven't noticed, when you come into our shop, on the right side of the TV is Bon Appetit. And so that's just like a TV channel that constantly plays food, how to prepare food and different ways how to cook it. And so it was exciting to me because to see all those people tune in to, and for them to have fun.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that was we also collaborated with Yelp and we made a custom cookie.
Awesome.
So again, it's not like a cookie that I've ever made before. It's something that we teamed up on to bring to the people so that they would enjoy making it. And it was a good experience. And that's something that I would definitely love and will be open to doing again.
I think what I'm learning is you're obviously huge into collaboration when it's that right person. Where does this mindset come from to want to collaborate and work with the people around you?
Honestly, man, it's just an inspiration, I would say, from a lot of my role models in life, but more specifically music, right? Like that's where I get a lot of my inspiration, a lot of my positivity. And so there's like 3 words that I choose to live by on a daily basis, man. And I call it the 3 Ps, right? Like peace, positivity, and progression. Be peaceful with everyone that you interact with, be positive, in everything that you do, and always progress in life. And as long as you live in those like, positive vibes, I feel like it's almost impossible not to be connected to the people around you. And so you can be around people, but I like to be connected around those people so that we can share the same experience and then compound on top of that, man. And I think like that's the foundation of relationships is being able to like relate to people. And I love collaboration, man, especially like you said, though, it has to be like the right person and the right energy. I think that's like the most important thing.
Yes, absolutely. What is the hardest aspect of working a 9 to 5 job while building this cookie empire?
Yeah, no, man. I would say honestly all of it. Every single thing about it. And, I'm lucky enough to, in my particular role, I'm in sales, but I still travel a lot. I probably travel half of the year. And I think what really sets, people apart in this realm is the trust that you have for your team members. And, if I weren't able to rely on the team that I have and the people that I bring in to help me, I think, I wouldn't be able to do both. And so I think that the biggest thing for me was to allow people to be that partner, not employee, right? Be that partner, because if you can get your team members to believe in the passion, believe in the philosophy, believe in the growth, they treat the business as if it's theirs. And so I think that the hardest thing for me is choosing the right people. And then also finding like a balance for yourself as well. I think that's probably, the biggest challenge, even if you have that trusted team, is you got to take time for yourself. And
Yes.
so you got to find things that you love, to where even if you can find an hour of a pocket of freedom, like, me, I love jazz. I go to Ginger Rabbit, shout out to Ginger Rabbit, a local jazz bar here in Columbus. I go there 2 or 3 times a week, but it's just an opportunity for me to decompress and pull away from everything that I do, because like everyone, 24 hours in a day, I sleep 8, I probably work 16.
Yeah. Yeah. In 2015, you said money will make the person you are becoming more apparent. If
Yes.
you are a bad person, you can afford to be worse. If you are a good person, you'll now be more inclined to help others. Is this still true to you 10 years later?
Absolutely, man. And I kind of congratulated you on just doing that research prior, but I absolutely believe in that, and I kind of pulled a little bit of that from a Bob Marley quote as well. But for me, I feel like financial freedom is everyone's ultimate wish, right? Whether it's with your family or not, you got to be able to provide for your family. And so when you hit that peak and you're able to kind of do what you want, it really puts things into perspective of what you actually want to do, right? And so, a lot of the times you see people in positions of power not do the right thing when they could be. And it's those few individuals that actually kind of, like the 3 words that I live on, peace, positivity, and progression, that actually like kind of remain true and give back. And so, like, each month we try to at least make a donation to a nonprofit that we work with. Last month it was autism awareness, and we did a fruity pebble cookie. And so it's just like, I totally believe in that, right? Like, if you're an asshole and you have money, you're gonna be more of an asshole, right? If you're a peaceful, progressive person and you really want to see good in everyone else and you really want to just make the community around you better, when you have that opportunity, you're gonna be able to give back. And so I think that's one of the things that we capitalize on. I mean, one of our business partners here helps run the male African American wellness agency here in Columbus, Ohio. So it's really just about, for us, giving back to the community.
And is that one way how you really stay grounded to not let some of the money, and success kind of go to your head?
Absolutely, man, and especially considering we're still in the very much beginning
Yeah.
stages, right? I mean, we just opened a few months ago, and so if anything, what that and this has taught me is that you really do need that strong team around you that believes in what you do to be able to carry your vision forward. And so I have, strong faith in everyone on my team. If I'm not downstairs, everyone's getting greeted properly, right? They're getting asked if they've been here before. And, they're getting an experience, not just a transaction.
I can actually attest to that because one of your team members was very, very kind, and he had no clue who I was, and I was like, "Wow, that's really peppy." I'm like, "Yeah." So it's I can attest to that for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
2 more questions for you.
I got you.
In 2012, you said this about your mother. I hope one day I can pay you back for all that you continue to do for me and my brothers. Has this something that you have accomplished, or is this still something that you're working towards, supporting and giving back to your mother?
Absolutely, man. And for me, I think it's something that I can never pay back ultimately, right? It's something that I work on every single day, just kind of witnessing firsthand the experiences that we went through as a family and the sacrifices that my mother made to raise 3 men, right? As a single mom that played 3 sports each. And so, I think it's each of our goals as her sons to kind of give back everything that we do to her for the sacrifices that she made, man. And I think that's one of the things that kind of keeps me grounded, is because at the end of the day, right? Like that's my dream, right? Buy your mom a house, make sure she doesn't have to work, make sure her pain and suffering is over. Because when you're growing up, kind of how we did it, and especially in that single parent, right, to where you're working 2 shifts a day, and then you still have to take your kids to basketball practice.
Yeah.
My brother played baseball, right? And so, no, man, I think that's something that I give back to every single day. And I don't think, at any point in time will I have ever monetarily or energy wise given back enough, because she's the most amazing person on the planet.
That's beautiful. One more question for you.
I got you, man.
If you could have dinner with two people, one person from the past and one person from the present, who would it be and why?
Honestly, for me, that's pretty easy. That's probably the easiest questions that you asked all day. Past for me, Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix to me is my favorite musician of all time. Just kind of reading the autobiography, following his life, the things that he did, the way that he paved the ground frame and the framework for blues, for jazzy psychedelic rock. That's really important to me, because especially in the time that he was doing it, there really wasn't a lot of African Americans stepping into that music space. And so for him to do it at such a high level, but also create change, I think for me, that would be an amazing conversation, just to kind of learn about the adversity that he had to deal with, right? To where, okay, he grew up playing like the chitterling circuit, right? Just deep blues, and then trying to transgressed into rock and roll. But he fused a lot of people, and really, like, his main thing was love, right? Like bold as love and being peaceful. And I think that if people could continue to do what he was doing, we will be in a lot more peaceful place today. And so Jimi Hendrix for me is definitely going to be the person that I'll love to speak to in the past. And then in the present, uh, Jay-Z,
Okay.
for sure. You probably already know that answer,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it's where our company is named after. And kind of just growing up how we did, again, I really looked up to Jay-Z, man, just as a business person. I think his music is exceptional, but just the way that, he lives his life and the standard that he holds himself to and the people around him is an inspiration, and I would potentially love to have a conversation with him if that ever happened.
Well, those are the questions I have for you. How can people find you, and what is one thing you want to leave people with?
Absolutely, man. And so people can find us at FTLOD Cookies on Instagram, on Twitter, if they still have that. I think it's X now, right? We got TikTok as well, Facebook. Our website is FTLOD Cookies. So we try to keep it really cohesive. But we're also inside of the Little Grand Market here in Grandview. So we're open 7 days a week. Monday, through Sunday. We close at 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Friday through Sunday, we're open till 11 p.m. So definitely come see us. We also do a lot of food markets. So like this week, we have a Taco Fest. The following week, we have the Four Fest. And so definitely just follow our Instagram to see what we're doing.
Is there anything you would like to leave people with?
I would say definitely be on the lookout for our catering offerings. We're starting to get more outside of just the traditional cookies. We do really good muffins.
Yes, I saw that.
We make a mean banana cream pudding. We actually do ice cream sandwiches now for catering orders. And so I would say be on the lookout for more of an expansive menu for our catering options.
Awesome. Well, Loren, thanks for coming on the podcast, man. I
No,
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate you.